October 21st, 2018. Welcome to another edition of Artists. I'm your host, Omar Rashida. Now joining me live in studio, she's no stranger to artists. I had her on, let me see, how many times you been on?
I think this is the third time.
Third time,
So
all right.
say three is a charm.
Third time, three's a charm. We have Ms. Dell Scott. Good morning.
Good morning, Omar.
Okay, the
Glad
world
to be
renowned
back.
fashion designer. All right, okay, so let's. For
I
folks-
received it.
So let's talk about how you got into the fashion industry. What made you go into the fashion industry, and did you have to go to school to become a fashion designer?
I'm blessed. I'd have to say that it's more of a natural gifting for me.
Okay, gotcha.
I have studied on my own just to kind of, tweak my craft a little bit more and perfect as
Right.
far as some of the fundamentals of fashion. But I've always been passionate about fashion. I was that little girl that was playing with Barbies for hours,
Right.
changing her outfits and cutting
Right,
her hair
right.
and things like that. So it was something that was innate at a very young age for me. And kind of like as I got older, I just kind of gravitated and, they had those fashion plates. I would kind of do that. And
Right.
about 10 years ago, I started a fashion retail business called
Okay.
Diva Couture. And from there, I started reselling jewelry, accessories, clothing, but it felt like something was missing, that it wasn't
Right,
enough. So
right,
3 years ago, I started the Dell Scott collection. My first showcase was right here in Delaware Fashion Week. I've
Okay.
also done First State Fashion Week, and from
Right.
there, it just kind of took off.
Now, in terms of the different type of models that you design for, is there a particular type of models, or do you do all type of models, male, female? Is there a particular age, size? And
I wouldn't necessarily say a particular age, definitely
Okay.
women
Okay,
that I
gotcha.
design for. Ultimately, fashion is a platform, but for me, it's about empowering women,
Right.
wanting them to feel beautiful inside and out.
Right.
So I definitely cater my designs to women. I get a lot of gentlemen that want me to design for the brothers. They're
Right,
like,
right.
when are you going to design for us?
Right, right.
And I get a lot of what I call my curvy girls, so that want me to design. So I'm looking to design a line actually, for plus size in the near
Right.
future as well.
Right, being a fashion designer, I know you get to travel and meet all kind of people. Other than Delaware, you mentioned Delaware. What's some of the other places where
Yes.
you had your fashion shows?
I've done Pennsylvania,
Okay.
New Jersey, and I was blessed to grace the runway at New York Fashion Week this past September.
Oh, well, now talk about that experience. How was it? Because that's major.
Oh gosh, it's funny because when I go back and I look at some of the pictures, sometimes I still can't believe that that's actually my design.
Right.
That's at the runway. I can't believe that I was actually there. So I think it's still sinking in to a
Right,
certain
right,
extent.
right.
But it was just almost surreal. That was something that I desired 3 years ago when I started designing, and I didn't think that within 3 years that I would be at New York Fashion Week, and I was.
Wow.
So I'm very humbled, very honored. I look forward to going back again next year.
Now, were you ever a model yourself, or you just start off with just being a fashion designer?
I did some local modeling.
Okay.
Nothing, fashion shows, local events. Unfortunately, I don't have the height for runway models. But one thing about the industry now, it's evolving and it's
Okay.
changing so much, and so
Right.
many doors are opening
Right.
for petite models, for plus size models.
Right.
Whereas it's not as, how can I say, maybe not as stringent as it was before. You
Okay.
have a little bit more leeway now. You see a lot of models that typically don't fit the norm, and they're breaking stride now.
Now, with your fashion, do you just do fashion for print, or do you do fashion? Well, I'm quite sure you do runway. That's obvious. But do you also do fashion for print? And
Well, yes. Anytime I design a line, I make sure that I do my own photo shoot
Okay.
because there's a certain look that I want to come across. Every line has its own vision.
Okay.
Like the most recent line, which we're going to be able to see one of those designs here today,
Right.
is called Siren. And with that, I got a lot of inspiration from the Latina culture. So it's very fiery, it's very
Right.
passionate, very sultry. So a lot of times I'll look for models that display that.
Right.
What I feel display that type of essence. Those are the ones I want to model. And then from there, I'll do a photo shoot. I'll get a vision for a location I may want to shoot at. So it is a combination of runway, I would say, and print for me.
Oh, okay, that's great. The more, the better.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be bringing on your model in a few minutes.
Yes.
Now, how do you go about bringing models to your fashion world? I mean, do you audition them, or you just go to different programs, different shows, and say, you know what, I like her, I want to bring her on?
Sometimes it is like that. Now, when I do the fashion week, they actually have their own casting calls
Okay,
when you
gotcha.
do the different fashion weeks. So you are selecting from the models that they have on hand. Sometimes there's specific models that have modeled for me before.
Right.
I will reach out to
Reach
them.
them again, okay.
As the one that we have here today, Jasmine is here today, I'll reach out to them and have them model for me again.
Okay, great.
So I do that as well. And a couple times I have had my own casting calls as well.
Okay, so you ready to bring her on?
Yes.
All right. Live right here on Lease Access Channel 28. You're watching Artists. We're going to take a short break and we'll return.
Oh, welcome back to the Artist Show. I'm excited to be on here. Designer Del Scott. Thank you for the platform, Omar. And I have one of my beautiful models, Jasmine, with us today. And she is modeling a design from my Platitude collection. It is a brown plaid hooded jacket. You can see the hood accent on there, which makes it casual yet edgy, and the wide belt as well. And she's turning around. Beautiful, beautiful. And this you can actually dress up, as you can see, with the brown fringe booty heels there that she has on, or you can kind of dress it down with a flat as well. And as you can see the detail down at the bottom, to make it stand out a little bit more and accentuate the outfit. And it has the ties on the bottom there. So this is the brown plaid hooded jumper from my Platitude collection. She's also wearing a jewelry selection from my business, Diva Couture, where you unleash your inner diva. And then is a gold spiked collar necklace with gold stud earrings. So this is something, when you want something different, yet casual, something that you can kind of dress up or dress down, this will be your go-to look. And I actually designed this line a year ago. And as you can see now, plaid is all over the place. just beautiful. And this is definitely one of the favorites. I've had a lot of people reach out in regards to this design. So you want something unique, you want something edgy, you want to make a statement, you want all eyes on you when you walk in the room, you definitely want to look to get a selection from the Platitude collection.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jasmine.
All right. So she's going to do another
Yes.
another guest. But in the meantime, while she's getting dressed and changing for the other platform, now outfit such as nice, a beautiful outfit like that. How long does it take you to create something as such?
Oh, wow. I would say concept, you're looking at probably about a few weeks. Sometimes I'll initially get the design,
Right.
but then I need to get a feel for what fabric I want to use.
Right.
Because a lot of times certain designs, may look different in certain colors.
Okay.
One color may, give it a different feel and definitely look better. So that's something that I have to take in mind. So the color, the fabric, the actual design. And a lot of times, like I said, because I dare to kind of be a perfectionist, I'll go back over. Sometimes I get halfway done
Right.
and I kind of go back to the drawing board and I'm like, I want to change it. I want to do this sleeve different. I want to do the pant leg different or the drape of the dress differently as well. So I would say probably from concept to finish, you're looking at least probably a little over a month.
When you're looking at models, you know as well as I do, you have all kind of skin tones, from the lightest,
Yes.
to the darkest. So when you have one of your outfits, do you design outfits based on skin complexion, like one particular outfit may match a particular skin complexion more so than the others, or does it matter?
I don't necessarily look at skin complexion when I'm
Okay.
designing,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
naturally when I'm done with the design, if I'm selecting models, sometimes there's just a certain essence that a model has
Okay.
where I know that she can carry a design in a different way or maybe carry it in the vision that I want people to see it in, maybe
Right.
a little bit better than another model. And it's nothing personal,
Right.
no reflection on her beauty versus another model's beauty.
Right.
But sometimes some models just may carry the essence of a design in a different way than another model. So those are things that I take into consideration, but it's more of after the fact than in the beginning.
Before the show, as I mentioned to you and Jasmine both, that I was a big fan of Tara Banks' show, Fashion
Yes.
Model, and unfortunately, there's only one winner, and,
Yeah.
and the rest of the models had to go home. It's some that I seen crying. So when you're looking at models, and they don't win, it could affect their self-esteem. They may
Yes.
second guess themselves. Am I really good enough to be a model? So how would you recommend that models to deal with rejection?
They always say you're going to get 50 million no's before you're going to get that one yes.
Okay.
So you definitely have to have tough skin.
Right.
You definitely have to kind of just embrace who you are.
Right.
One of the things that I would definitely say is not to compare yourself
Okay.
to other models.
Right.
None of us, we don't look like anyone else. We don't
Right.
carry ourselves like anyone else. So I would
Right.
say just work on embracing you
Right.
and just making yourself the best you that you can be. Whether you're going to be in print or in runway. If you're going to be in print, you definitely need to be photogenic.
Right.
I've seen a lot of models who are great in runway, but print may not be their forte or vice versa.
Right.
So definitely don't compare yourself to other models. Just embrace who you are. Know that you were created uniquely. You have your own unique look, and to just walk in that and own it.
Right. When I'm watching the fashion shows, it's particularly the runways, I see people on the side, I guess the judges, they got their little pens and pads and they're writing things down. And also watch, the competition thing when we talked about American
Yes.
Top Model, but there's also a fashion contest as well. So what are judges looking at, when they're looking at fashion and designs?
When they're looking at fashion designs, they're looking at wearability. A lot of times, because fashion is an art form, we have the avant-garde, we have that over-the-top, the couture that we see
Right.
at the major fashion weeks. But they want something that's wearable. It's beautiful. Okay, definitely, it's an art form,
Right.
but is it wearable? They look at versatility. They look at definition. They look at contrast, different
Right.
fabrics,
Okay.
different design styles. So they take all that into consideration, and definitely the construction of your garment.
Okay.
It can look good on the outside, but does it look good underneath
Right.
as well?
Right.
So those are all the things that they take in consideration when they're judging for the designs.
Okay, your model's back. She's back for another
Yes.
beautiful outfit. So I guess when the camera people are ready, that they can tune in to your model for that beautiful red decoration.
Oh, my
She
favorites.
All right, yeah, there she go.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Artist Show. And now, Jasmine is wearing a design from my latest collection, which is Siren. This one collection debuted at New York Fashion Week. And Siren, when I got the vision for this line, when you think of what a siren is, the definition is a dangerously seductive female. So I got the vision for the all red, but with that, sequins, lace, satin, all different types of embroidery. But this particular one is a lace and sequin, strapless, mermaid bottom dress with a long train, and it has flared sleeves with a split as well. So keep in mind, upcoming holiday season, which definitely red is one of the colors of the Christmas holiday season coming up.
Right.
So keep that in mind when you're looking for something unique, something charismatic, showstopper. This is something that you definitely want. And I got the vision for the gold jewelry, which is from Diva Couture as well, and also with gold stud heels. But you can definitely pair it with whatever jewelry you like, be it with crystals or rhinestones or diamonds, and I think it'll definitely look beautiful.
Definitely, definitely. All right, so
Yes.
live right here on Lisa Access Channel 28, you're watching Artists. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to bring Jasmine on so I can interview her. Stay tuned for more of Artists. Welcome back to Artists. I'm your host, Omar Rashana. Joining me live is the beautiful model, Jasmine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so so how long have you modeled, and what made you decide that you want to be a model?
I've been modeling about 4 to 5 years now. I decided I wanted to be a model when I see the people on the runway and I see them be who they want to be. So they've always encouraged me to be who I want to be. Like, I like playing dress up. So for me, it's like I'm a life-size doll. So that's how I look at it. So I love it.
Right. Are there any well-known models, or even local models, that you come to admire during your career?
Yeah, definitely. Again, Tyra Banks, I love her. She makes it easy no matter your size. Like, I'm 5'2", so I'm short.
Right.
So a lot of short models do not get recognized. So she encourages me to stand tall even though I'm only 5'2".
Right.
I love Tiana Taylor as well. She's very fierce.
Okay.
So she's someone I look up to as well.
Right, and there, you know, you was thinking, you mentioned earlier, you know, when I'm thinking fashion, I'm just thinking about the clothes, but I'm not thinking about the earrings and the jewelry.
Yes.
So I see that they play a big play with the modeling.
It definitely does. I jokingly call myself sometimes more of a creative director than a designer, so to speak, because for me, it's the whole entire vision.
Right.
So like with Siren, not only were the designs red, but I got the concept bold gold accessories.
Right.
And then I even bought all the heels for the
Oh,
models
okay.
to wear for New York Fashion Week
right.
because they had to be all gold. I didn't want any other color to take away from the dress.
Okay.
So it's definitely a creative process, and I'm definitely involved with every aspect of it.
You know, when you're at your fashion shows and you see models as Jasmine as such, wearing your creation, what goes through your mind?
I'm literally just blown away. A lot of
Okay.
times I'll kind of stand back and I'm just like, gorgeous. That is just so beautiful. Because a lot of times a big part for a designer is picking the right model to
Right.
wear the right
Nice,
design.
nice, right.
And like I said, again, it's nothing personal,
Right.
but sometimes the very essence of that design comes out from a particular model. So when you see that graced on the runway, that's probably about the best feeling you could ever have as a designer.
All right, Jasmine, so have you ever participated in any beauty pageants?
Beauty pageants, I have not. I have participated in like local fashion shows such as Delaware Fashion Week and First State
Okay.
Fashion Week and things of that sort.
So when you participate in fashion shows and you're around 50, 25 different models, what is that like being in a room full of models?
It's encouraging and it's a wonderful experience. You get to see the different characters, the different roles they play, how they step. They're so comfortable in
Right.
their skin and
Yes.
the way that they just move on the
Right.
runway. So it doesn't matter how long you've been modeling. I
Right.
can take something from everyone, whether you just started or you're a professional. Like I love it.
So people that's watching right now, and they see you, they say, I want to be like Jasmine, I want to be a model. What words of encouragement do you have for that person?
I would say do it. Whatever you want to do it. It doesn't matter how tall you are, your size, your weight. It does not matter.
Right.
You're beautiful. You can do what you want to do. I'm 5'2", but I always like to say I walk 6'2". So
Yes.
Okay.
it doesn't matter
So-
what you think you look like. You're beautiful regardless. So do it.
So confidence plays a big role.
It does. Sometimes you see a lot of the alter egos come out on the runway.
Oh, okay,
They
all
turn
right.
into completely different people.
Right, right, right. So those who are watching who want to be a model or a fashion designer, what words of encouragement do you have for him or her?
Again, I would just kind of piggyback off what Jasmine said. For the models, just go for it.
Right,
You know, the only one that can tell you that you can't do something is you.
right,
You just have to believe in you. Like I said, embrace how you look, how you were created, and know that you bring something unique to the table. Every designer is looking for something different for their line, different models, a different look. So what works for one designer may not work for another, and vice versa. So you have to believe in you. As far as for the designers, you know, I would just say you have a certain vision for a line that the world needs to see.
Right.
So express your art form. Definitely design, hone your craft,
Right.
study. I believe there's always more for you to learn and just to keep pressing.
All right, we have about a minute left. So 30 seconds left. You want to have any closing words? 30 seconds, both of you. Anything you want to say?
Oh boy.
Give you shout-outs, you
Well, I'm excited. I just found out within the last couple weeks that I have been nominated for a Lifetime
Yeah,
Achievement Award
There you go, there you go.
through Delaware Valley
great.
Entrepreneur. So I'm excited about that. So if you love what I do, you support my platform, which is ultimately through fashion, but to empower women. Hey, give me a vote. DE Valley Entrepreneurs.com. //vote. I might have that wrong, but definitely give me a vote. The ball is going to be November the 3rd. Voting closes at 11:59 on the 24th. To reach out to me for designs or for modeling for any upcoming showcases, DellScottCollection.com or 1-800-804-0194.
30 seconds, Jasmine. You got anything you want to say? Any
I
shout-outs?
just want to thank you for having me on your show, and I want to thank Dell for allowing me to show off these beautiful creations that she's created. Support her. She's amazing.
Okay, on that note, I thank both of you ladies for coming on this
Thank
morning.
you for
and,
having us,
the
Omar.
door's always open.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to another edition
congrats
of
on your
Artists.
book.
Oh, yeah, great to you. I'll be back in 2 weeks. God bless. Have a safe week.